Come to the center of your mat with your arms extended out in front of you, forehead on the ground, hips to the heels. Really using your palms to push through the ground. You can use a block for your forehead. You can sway from your forehead from left to right, just massaging out your forehead. Today's flow is about Libra. Libras are ruled by air in equilibrium and harmony. So today's focus will be alignment and balance. Trying to always find that perfect center. You could bring your palms up to your fingertips. Remove the block off to the side and come to the ground for a deeper stretch. Let's come to the left side, so walk the palms over and then go back to center. Walk the hands over to the right, left hand over right hand, keeping those hips to the heels. And back to center. Roll up slowly. And let's roll our neck in a circle from left to right. Just keep rolling through. Enjoying this moment for yourself. And switch sides. Roll to the left. Let's roll out those shoulders in a circle, just moving one shoulder and then alternating to the other, just rolling them back and forward. You can sway your hips from left to right, just moving through, leaping through any stagnant energy. Take your head, tilt it to the right and push down with your right hand, and your opposite hand can be pushing towards the ground, stretching out the side of the neck. Continue to push down with that left hand to the floor and switch sides. So tilt the head to the left and push down with your left hand, and your right hand will be pushing towards the floor. Look to the right, look to the left. Take your arms clasped behind your back. We're going to do a lot of shoulder work today, so just warming up the shoulder. Take your right hand across your chest and look to the right. And switch sides, left hand across the chest, look to the left. Bring the right hand behind your head, using your left hand for support. You can also use a strap here. Bring your left hand back and around. Clasp both hands behind your back and fold forward. Slowly roll back up. Switch sides, left hand behind the head. You can use a strap here for support. Clasping both hands behind your back or a strap. And fold forward. Take the strap out in front of you. Arms can be shoulder distance apart. Attempt to bring the strap all the way back behind you, making sure nothing's there, of course. And then you can swing those arms back around and just continue to move your arms forward and back, attempting to stretch out that strap. You can pull on the strap, move from left to right, and use the band as a resistance band and release. Let's come onto all fours. Let's roll around those wrists in a circle. So moving the entire upper body. Bring your right arm to the sky, needle it through, and lay onto your right shoulder. Head comes to the ground. Your left arm can extend straight out. Push back off with one hand and switch sides. Left arm to the sky, needle it through. Just resting gently on that left shoulder. Your right hand can extend straight out in front of you, above your head for support, and push off with that right hand. Let's come to plank. You can move in that circular motion again. You can push up and down through the shoulders. You can tap out the feet. Let's come into a cat, look up, and a cow looking down, pushing off the ground. You can wag that tailbone from left to right, pushing off the ground. Or cow. Take your right foot off the ground, straight up behind you, and left arm to the sky. You can grab the back of your foot, just balancing on one knee here. And switch sides. Bring the left foot off the ground, right hand in the air. Grabbing the back of that foot and balancing. And release. Let's step back into plank, chaturanga. Push back up into down dog. Really spreading your fingers here in down dog. You can bend one knee, bend the other. Make sure you're pressing firmly through your palms and your knuckles. Reaching your pelvis up towards the ceiling. You could take one hand and grab your opposite leg and then switch sides. Press the floor away from you, lift up that left leg, bend and extend. You can roll out that hip a few times and switch sides, extending the other leg, bending and extending, rolling out that hip. And both legs on the ground. Bend the knees, jump, step, or hop forward, flat back, fold forward, grabbing the backs of your legs, rolling up, arms to the sky, look up, palms to chest, back down to the ground, plank, chaturanga with one leg off the ground, up dog, and down dog. Bend the knees, jump, step, hop forward, flat back, fold forward, bring the arms up, look up, palms to chest, palms to the ground, step back, chaturanga with one leg off the ground, up dog, and down dog. Bend the knees, jump, step, hop, flat back, fold forward, swim up, look up, palms to chest, fold back down to the ground, step back into plank, chaturanga and hold with one leg off the ground, up dog, and down dog. Bend the knees, jump, step, hop, flat back, fold forward, swim up, look up, slight back bend, palms to chest, fold forward, hands to the ground, jump or step back into plank with one leg off the ground, chaturanga, up dog, and down dog. Bend the knees, jump, step, hop, flat back, fold forward, swim up, look up, slight back bend, palms to chest. Take a moment and stand here in mountain. Bring your palms to the side, facing forward, feet together, pushing down onto the ground with the shoulders. You can bring your right knee up, your right foot to left thigh for tree, arms to the sky in a V. Pushing out that right hip for balance. Continue to breathe. Bring the right knee to your chest and swing it back behind you for Warrior 3. Palms can be at your chest or in the air in front of you. Both hands to the ground, bring that leg up into a split, and we're going to just do some kicks here. So continually kick back up, and bring the leg down, bring the leg back up. You can bend and extend that left leg for support. You can grab your left leg with your left hand, and your right hand can be extended out to the side as you do this. And pulse up at the top a few times. Take that leg to the back of your mat and come into a lunge. Stay low. Bring that back knee down to the ground. Both arms to the sky. You can hook your thumbs together for a low lunge. Swing those arms around back to the ground. Bend and extend that right leg. Bring the knee off the ground. Let's stand up into Warrior 1. So back heel is off the ground. Let's bring your hands into prayer and twist over to the left. So right elbow over left knee. And both arms back down. Launch forward into Warrior 3. Right arm can be extended up to the sky. You can grab the back of your foot. Slight back bend here. You can attempt to balance and stand up into dancers. If you lose your balance like I do here, just get back into it. Libra is all about finding that balance, that equilibrium, that harmony. So try to find that in every difficult situation. Take that foot to the back of your mat. Let's come into a side angle pose. Left knee is bent, right arm is straight out to the side. Let's stand back up into Warrior 2 and then reverse warrior. Come forward into Trikonasana, straightening out that leg, bringing that right hand behind you. Both arms to the ground. Let's bend into a low lunge. Bring both knees behind you and climb into puppy pose. So stretch both arms out in front of you, chin to the ground, and press back into down dog. Jump, step, hop forward. Flat back, fold forward, arms to the sky, look up, palms to chest. And we're going to do that tree pose on that left side. So left foot to right thigh, arms to the sky, in a V. Really pushing forward, bringing that leg behind you to warrior three. Palms could be at your chest. Make sure that back foot is flexed. Bring both arms to the ground. Extend that leg up to the sky for your split. Bend and extend and do 10 kicks. You can use your right arm for support. Continuing to bend and kick up to the sky. Bending both knees each time when you come down and straightening both legs when you kick up. Take that leg to the back of the mat. Come into your low lunge and bring the knee to the ground, arms to the sky. Hook the thumbs, attempting to straighten up that back. Bend and extend that leg. Bring that back knee off the ground and come into warrior one with the back heel off the ground. Launch forward into warrior three. This time it's the opposite way, so your left hand is to the sky, grabbing the back of that foot. Attempting to straighten up into dancers. If you lose your balance, just try it again. Just grabbing the back of your foot. Right arm to the sky. Step back into warrior two. Lean back into reverse warrior. Lean forward into Trikonasana, that leg straight. Bring your arm behind you. Bend that right knee again, come into a side stretch, and then back into warrior one, bringing your palms together. And we're going to do a twist here. So left elbow over right knee this time. Both arms to the ground. Come back into down dog. Really pushing that pelvis up to the sky. Left leg to the sky. Knee to left elbow and hold. Leg to sky. Knee to center and pulse. Look up. Keep pulsing, leg to sky, knee to right elbow, extend out in front of you, right arm to the sky. Advanced yogis could attempt to lift that left leg off the ground. Swing your right arm back down into down dog. Right leg to the sky, right knee to right elbow, knee to center and pulse. Keep pulsing, leg straight. Knee to left elbow, straighten out and bring your left arm to the sky. Advanced yogis could lift off and attempt to balance here. Step back into plank, chaturanga, up dog, and down dog. Making sure to really push through the ground here. Left leg to the sky, left knee, left elbow. Straighten that leg, knee to center, straighten that leg, knee to right elbow, and center and left. And swing into a warrior two on that left knee. Side angle. Right arm over the head, at a diagonal. Swing that right arm around and let's come into a center stretch, a center fold. So bend the elbows here, the front of your fingers are aligned with the front of your toes, attempting to use your hands to push your upper body towards the ground. You can use a block here. You can release the block, release the arms. You can sway here if you'd like. Bring the feet a little bit closer together, still hips distance apart, and stand up. Bring your arms clasped behind you, look up, and fold forward. So feet are about hip distance apart here. Let's just hang here for a moment. Release the arms and let's come to the back side of your mat. So the reverse of where we were before. The left knee comes to the ground. Let's bend and extend that right knee, facing the back of your mat. Lift that knee off the ground and let's come into a twist with the arm to the sky. Bringing that arm behind you. Both arms to the ground. Let's step up into a warrior three on that right leg. Left arm to the sky. And step to the back of your mat. Come back through center. Back to the top of your mat. Down dog, chaturanga, up dog, and down dog. And now we're facing the front of our mats again. So lift the right leg to the sky, right knee to right elbow, leg to sky, knee to center, look up, knee to left elbow, knee to sky, knee to right elbow, knee to sky, knee to center, knee to sky, knee to left elbow, and down dog. Both knees to the ground. Let's come into a child's pose. Great job. We're going to do a dolphin here, so bring both arms clasped behind the back of your head. Shoulders, forearms are on the ground, elbows are bent. You can play with lifting one leg and then play with lifting the other. Do not lift both legs off the ground unless you're in a very advanced yogi. You can lower the knees to the ground, release the head, sit back in child's pose for a moment. We're going to do that one more time. And come into dolphin, so all of your fingers should be intertwined here. And you should wrap your hands around the back of your head. The top of your head should be on the ground, lifting the hips to the sky. Your elbows are bent. You're sitting. You're using your forearms for support, lifting one leg and then the other. And release. Sit back onto those heels. And let's come onto all fours, down dog, right leg to the sky, swim through, and let's come up into a warrior three on that right leg, left arm to the sky, warrior three, bring that leg back down, and let's just hang here in a forward fold. Your feet are together here. Bring your arms out in front of you. You could clasp your hands behind you for a deeper fold. You could bring your right arm around the back of your left leg, and as well as your left arm behind your right leg, and roll up slowly. Let's stand in mountain with palms facing forward. Shoulders are pressing towards the ground. We're going to do tree pose again on the right. So this time we could come into lotus. You can grab your foot and tuck your foot into your left hip for tree in lotus. You could attempt to bend your left knee and fold forward while your foot remains in lotus. Bring your hands to the ground. Straighten out that left leg. Bend the left leg again and release that foot. We're going to do that again on the other side. So tuck in your left foot into your right hip in lotus. This is for advanced yogis only, so otherwise you could just go back to a regular tree pose. So here you can attempt to bend your right knee while your foot remains in lotus. And stand up. Release the foot, bring it to the back of your mat. In Warrior 2. And let's come into a warrior on the back of your mat. So bend the left knee, right leg is straight. Back to center. Clasp your hands behind your back and fold forward into a stretch, a side stretch. You could bring both hands to the ground to try to push your head forward onto the ground. Let's bring both knees to the ground. Bring your right hand over your heart, left hand over your belly. Let's just relax here, seated onto our feet. Let's come into a low squat. Onto your tippy toes. If your heels are off the ground, you can use a blanket here. We're going to come into side crow. So bring both arms over to the right side of both your knees, attempting to balance both knees onto that left elbow. So let's do that one more time. Arms to the sky. Bring them over to the right, both palms on the ground, lifting your both knees onto that left, above the left elbow. Pick the feet off the ground and release. We're going to do that on the other side. So both arms to the sky. Twist the torso. Bring your left lower ribs toward your right thigh as far as you can. Exhale each time. Arms to the sky one more time. Okay, so now let's come to your knees, to the center of your mat, back to down dog, hips are to the sky, left knee to the air, left knee to left elbow, we're going to do a push-up, and back to the sky, left knee to left elbow, and push up, and leg to the sky, and back down, we're going to switch sides, right leg to the sky, right knee above right elbow and push up, back to the sky, right knee, right elbow, push up, and let's come into a child's pose. Great job. Being center and aligned is also all about being diplomatic, so channeling your inner Libra can help you. Okay, so let's back down to down dog, left knee, left elbow, and push up. Back to the sky. Right leg to the sky. Right knee over right elbow and push up. Kick the wall behind you. And both knees on the ground. Let's come to a straddle on the side of your mat. You could bend one knee and straighten out the other, or you can extend both legs out into a straddle and stretch to the side. Let's come to the center. You can grab a block, place your forehead on the block, stretch your arms out in front of you. Release the block. You could come into a deeper center stretch. Stretch over to the left side, bringing your right arm over your head towards your left foot. And both arms to the sky, facing your leg and folding forward. Come back to center. Let's switch sides, so bringing your left arm and stretching it over to your right leg, and then face your leg and fold forward. You could come back to center using a block for a deeper stretch. Just always finding your center. Always coming back to that equilibrium. And release the block off to the side. Bring both legs together, facing the front of your mat. Knees are bent, feet are on the ground. Bring your right knee into your chest and roll it around in a circle. Your left leg could be bent or straight. Stretch that leg up to the sky. You can tap out your thigh, the front and the back of your thigh. You can flex and point your foot. Bring your leg over to the left side of your body. And then grab the back of your heel and then bring it over to the right. You could come into a half happy baby, pushing down onto that heel. Release the leg and switch sides, so left knee to chest, just rolling out that left knee. Bring your left leg to the sky, just grabbing behind your ankle. Grabbing the back of the heel, moving it over to the left side of your body. Your right arm can be extended out to a T for support. And release. Come into butterfly, so toes are together and knees are apart, remaining on your back. You can bring your hands to your belly. Bring the knees back up. We're just going to do some lifts here. Just lift your hips up and down, continuing to lift and release. Lift and release. Your shoulders should be tucked in here. Your knees are bent. Your feet are on the ground. So lift and release the hips. Don't come in too much of a back bend here. Let's squeeze the right side, the right buttocks a few times, and then switch to the left side, squeezing that left side only. Keep squeezing, and then let's move it in a circle. So both hips move in a circle over to the left, and then switch sides. Let's circle to the right, just squeezing the buttocks at the top each time, and release. We're going to do some crunches here, so keep your knees where they are and keep crunching for 5. Bring your right knee towards your face and crunch. Right leg to the sky, crunch towards that foot, and lower, switch sides, left knee towards your chest and crunch. Leg to the sky, crunch towards that leg. Back to the ground, let's come into a circle. So circle to the left, crunch up to the left, keep circling, and let's move to the right, crunch up to the right, keep crunching to the right. Both knees in, arms out in front of you, hold. Let's extend your arms up above your head, your legs out in front of you. We're going to scissor up to the sky, crisscross your legs and scissor back down for 5. Crisscross back up, crisscross back down. Everything off the ground and hold. Feet are flexed. Bring the knees in, grabbing onto your heels and stretch out into a straddle while on your back. Release the legs. We're going to do some supported bridges here, so make sure you are relaxed onto your shoulders. Your feet are on the ground, hips to the sky. Bring the block to your lower back and just relax here onto that block. Make sure the block is right above the tailbone. You can lift one leg and then the other. Lift both hips and release that block. Knock your knees in. Just take in some really deep breaths here. Make sure you always knock your knees in. So knees in, toes out. And come into butterfly, toes in, knees out. We're going to do that one more time, so both feet on the ground, the hips to the sky. Bring that block underneath, right above that tailbone. Release the arms, relaxing on the shoulders, making sure your chin is coming towards your chest. You can lift one leg, lift the other. On your tippy toes, lift your hips and release the blocks. Knock in those knees, so knees in, toes out. And this time, toes in, knees out for butterfly. Just relax here on your back. So feet back on the ground. We're going to do some full wheels here. So pushing up off the hands, making sure your toes are pointed in and really pushing through the top of the chest. So wheel is more about stretching through the top of your chest than it is through focus. Do not focus on your lower back. So if you feel any pain here, immediately come out of it. If you're not accustomed to wheel, I recommend continuing to stay in supported bridge. You can lower back down to the ground slowly, knock those knees in, toes out. And reverse, toes in, knees out for butterfly. This is where we find our balance, our equilibrium, our harmony. We're going to do that one more time. So bring your hands up by your ears and push up through the chest, toes in. And this time we're going to rest onto our forearms. So use one hand for support, bring one hand behind your head and then the other. Both hands are behind your head now, resting on your forearms. Straighten out your legs while really continuing to focus on that upper chest. There should be no pressure in the lower back here. If you feel any pressure, come back into wheel. So push back up into wheel if this is at all uncomfortable. Just continuing to push through the upper chest. Relaxing on your forearms. To come out of this, bend both your knees, lift with one arm first and then the other, push up into wheel. And then slowly roll down one vertebrae at a time. Knock the knees in, toes out. Right hand over the heart, left hand over the belly. Just always striving for balance between polarities. Let's bring the toes in, knees out. Let's roll up into a seated. Legs straight out in front of you. Arms over your head and then bring them over your feet. You can massage the bottom of your feet out here. You can push down on the top of your toes, keeping your back straight. Forward folds are more about rolling through the tops of your hips than it is trying to get down to your head to your knees. And release, bend your right knee over your left leg and twist. So left elbow hooks over your right knee. And tuck that right foot into your left hip and fold forward into a half lotus. And release that foot. Switch sides, bend the left knee, bring it over to your right leg stays straight. Twist over to the left, so right elbow hooks over left knee. The back of your left arm can be used to help straighten out your back. And release that twist. Bring your left foot, tuck it into your right hip for a half lotus. Arms to the sky and fold forward. Both arms to the sky, release the feet and forward fold. And let's swing both feet around to the back of your mat. Come into down dog for just a moment. Right leg to the sky and pigeon on the right side. So right knee is at a 90-degree angle. The front of your right foot is facing the front of your mat. And you can rest your head on the block here. We're going to be here for a good 2 minutes on each side. So really breathing deep into each hip. You can find your drishti, so find a point. It could be anywhere, it could be beyond your head, it could be your nose. You can place your hands in mudra, just to take the attention away from the hip if you're finding any discomfort. There should never be any pain in yoga, so if you feel pain, that's the body telling you to get out of it. But uncomfortableness means just to sit in it. Uncomfortableness is also the ego dying. You can rotate your head on the block, release the block off to the side, push up off your hands, bring your right leg back into down dog. Let's bring the left leg to the sky, left knee into a 90-degree angle. If that's not possible, it's okay to keep your foot pointed towards your right hip and breathe into that left hip. Always completing both sides and finding that balance, which represents justice and diplomacy, being impartial, gracious, refined. Libras like to take action around principles of fairness, justice, and equality. So when you find yourself in a situation where you're not sure what to do, try to find the Libra within you. Libra communication is objective, balanced, and fair. Just continuing to breathe into that hip. Release the block off to the side, push up with your hands, swing your legs back to the front of your mat. Go ahead and lay on your back, bring your knees into your chest. Grab onto both knees with each hand and circle your knees out and then in. Continuing to circle your knees out and then in. You can grab onto your heels and push down into happy baby. You can rock from side to side. Really finding that opposition of the heels versus the ground. Give yourself a really big hug here. Take in a huge deep breath. Hold your breath at the top and release. We have a good whole 5 minutes in Shavasana. The legs are outside of your mat. Palms are also outside of your mat. Palms are facing up. Your shoulders are tucked into your back. And just completely surrender, completely let go. If you're ever unsure what to do, this is where you come back to. This is your yoga. Shavasana is the most important pose in yoga. Since our focus today is on Libras and finding that balance, if you're ever unsure what to do, Libras try to see all perspectives involved in a dispute or a resolution. They're guided by reason and logic, and they always attempt to be fair. So just finding that balance in every argument. It also relates to any one of your characteristics. Every human is two parts. We are all part feminine and part masculine. And you never want to be either too masculine or too feminine because that's off equilibrium. When you have a healthy balance, you can express your best self and not be too imposing on others around you. And when you are cognizant of your own behaviors and you're cognizant of other behaviors, we can all live in harmony. Continuing to find that third eye center here. Shavasana is not a place to sleep. It is a place to let go and come back to. Your third eye just exists and just be. Continue to release. Just find any place where you can officially let go. Whatever doesn't belong there doesn't need to be there. You could claim back your power here, wherever you left it. Continuing to breathe. If your mind wanders, just bring it back to center. You could bring your arms over your head, legs extended out in front of you, feet together. Just wiggle those fingers and toes. And rolling onto one side, just laying on one arm. Just resting here in this very nurturing, healing pose.
Flames flicker underneath my patience is wearing thin, holding on to that happy ending. It's time to choose the future of my new beginning. There's nothing to lose except the hope of a happy ending. I've made it to the crossroads, I'm not sure which path to take. Every ticking second is another step I have to make. Do I value what I love more than what I can?
And push off of one hand, head comes last. In the forward, folded seated fold, you could bring your right hand over your heart, left hand over the belly. And just take in 3 really deep breaths, using your full belly each breath.
I'm fighting fire with fire, but the further I fall, the flames keep climbing higher. Your patience is wearing thin, you might not.
Just like Libra, they say that Shiva is a paradoxical deity. She is both the destroyer and the restorer, a benevolent herdsman of souls and an avenger. So Libra teaches us that we can be both one and the same at the same time, and finding that balance and tapping into whatever you need at that moment. Just meditate here for a few more minutes. Just praying for justice and peace and harmony for all. You can imagine a bright white light over your whole body, and then over your whole city, and then over the whole world.
I'm foolish for being so naive. I'm foolish for giving you no time to breathe. I'm foolish.
Set an intention for your day. Imagine it. Manifest it. If any thoughts came up today, release them, forgive them, let them go. Bring them back to the ground for Goddess to transmute the energy. You are healing yourself here, so always continue to heal yourself. You are your own guide, your own teacher. Just listen to the thoughts that your soul tells you, your intuition.
Flames flicker underneath my skin, the ember of a new beginning. My patience is wearing thin, holding
Bring both palms to your chest, bow your head. Our hearts beat the same. We're one and the same. We all want the same thing. We're all the same. Bring your palms to your forehead. The light within me sees the light within you. Namaste, bow, and release.